Hello everyone, here we are on Friday the 21st of August, and I thought I'd do a video of today's stitching because it's a kind of an unusual shape in this year's template. So what I've got is silk pearl 8 in kind of as one of my hand-dyed threads. It's kind of magenta, reds and browns, and I've got a very similar fine silk, but kind of similar colours. Fine silk's maybe a bit paler. So I've threaded 2 needles, and I think all I'm going to do today is just couch some lines. Because we've got this long sort of horizontal space, I thought I'd just kind of accentuate the kind of length of it. There are lots of things you could do with a long thin space like this, and I'm just going to couch the thicker thread down with the thinner thread. That's all I'm going to do. There are lots of things you could do with this kind of space. You could do a long kind of landscape with, you know, upright flowers. You're seeing this sideways now. But you know, you could do a row of anything actually. A row of circles or a row of little flowers on stalks. Any kind of repeat pattern that would work well in a long narrow space. I'm taking the other approach today, which is you know, sort of accentuating the length of it. And I don't know, maybe people are going, oh no, couching again. And it's true, I do a lot of couching, but for this reason, because it's quick and it's easy, and you know, you get to the end of the week and you don't want to think too hard. So I'm just going to take that other thread down and I'm going to bring it up maybe somewhere down there, and maybe I'll come back and fill in some of the space when I've got another line in. So I'm just going to untangle those, take this thread down to where that one comes up, and a little back stitch just to anchor it, and same again. And there isn't a plan. All I've done is laid down a line, and now I'm laying down another line. That's all that's happening. I don't know where it's going next. And if you know where it's going next, then you're a wiser man or woman than I. I mean, I quite like the element of surprise. Although in general, I don't like surprises. So it's a strange thing, isn't it? You know, some surprises are all right. So back at the end there, let's bring that back up again fairly randomly somewhere. Let's see where this one goes. So that's my thinner thread. Just bring it up to there, another little back stitch just to anchor it. And let's start overlapping them. And of course you could just do parallel lines, which I think would probably be just as effective. Particularly, I think, if you did maybe different shades of the same colour or different thicknesses of thread. Let's just bring that back down, maybe there. think down there and up there. So I'm just bringing the thinner thread up to meet it, and more of the same. And what's this? Line number 4. If we're lucky, we might get another line out of it. I tend to go for kind of odd numbers where possible. If that one might just go down to there, that's quite nice, isn't it? If it doesn't go all the way across. And then maybe we'll have the last line coming up there. I'm just going to bring this thread up that way. So let's just have a look at this one. I think we might have that one going down that way. And the more lines you get down, the easier it is, because you know you can see where the spaces are. I think we might aim for that, something like that. And it looks like I've got just about enough thread in each needle, so let's just take that down there. And just stitch that down. And then let's just take both of these to the back. I'm just going to tie these off in this, on the back of this grid line area. It's quite a good place to bury your thread. It's a very satisfying sound, isn't it? That little snip at the end. Where it's a finer thread, I tend to wrap it around the needle just to make a little knot. I don't tend to do that with the thicker threads because the knot is a bit too bulky. Right, there we go. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so I've just having a look at it, and I'm thinking, I mean, you could leave it like that. It looks, to me, that looks okay. I think what I'd like to do is some kind of thinner lines in between, maybe. So I've got another fine silk. This one is more sort of muted, lilacs and purples, more sort of grey blue type colours. And I'm just going to start it somewhere about there. And again, I'll start it in the and that grid line, seam line thing there. And I think this time I'm going to, let me move, I've got too many things on my table. Things are all clanking and rustling. So I think for these lines I'm just going to do running stitch. One, because you can. Two, because why not? You could do any kind of linear stitch, I guess. Or indeed any kind of other stitch. So I'm just going to do more wavy lines. Basically until I think there's enough. And I think there's quite a nice contrast there between the thick heavy lines and the lighter broken lines. And I'm just finding a little gap, just letting it go where it wants to go, really. Back stitch there just to anchor it, and then we'll come, I think, you can't see anything that's happening off camera here, but I promise you there's stuff everywhere. I've got a little oasis of calm going on here. The rest of it's chaos. I'll deal with it in a minute. It's been a really busy week this week. I'm very tired. But there's nothing quite so restorative, I think, as a little bit of hand stitching. And I think it really does help. You know, so many people write in the comments to these videos, you know, how stitching is really helping them with, you know, anxiety or mental health or anything like that. I mean, it really, really does, you know. I think any slow creative thing would probably be just as good, but you know, if you think better with a needle and thread in your hand, then probably this is going to be a good thing. So let's have that one just going off the edge a little bit. And then I've got enough thread for one more line. And I think I want to be down here. Okay, so let's just going to audition this line. I think I might just have it just going down there, just a part line. And you know, these things don't have to mean anything, they don't have to be a picture of anything, they don't have to say anything profound, it just has to be a few marks that you lay down every day, just because you can, because it's a nice calming thing to do. There we go, I think that will do. Just going to take that back down. Just wrap that round a couple of times to make a little knot, and then just weave the end in. And a little snip. Okay, let's have a look. Nice, I think that will do. That'll do just fine. And then tomorrow we've got another long thin thing. So tomorrow I might do something a bit more upright. You know, I might do a little row of you know, few little stalks here and a few little flower heads or seed heads or something. I'll have a look out the window and see what I can see in the garden. And that'll be tomorrow. And then there's only, goodness me, 10 days of August left. And then we'll be on the bottom row of this year's template. Absolutely flies. It does fly. So there we go. Happy stitching for today. Happy Friday. Have a lovely weekend. And thank you as always for watching. And I will see you soon next week sometime. Bye for now.